it's the final day of EGX. Tears all round, RIP, in peace, etc, etc.
Yes, we're just sort of mopping up what we want to play. I've already had a go at Ni no Kuni 2, which was great.
And I went and played Monster Hunter and did the expert mission.
Of course you did, of course you did. You'll have nothing left to play by the time the game comes out.
What, 2 maps? 2 missions on the same map? Lies.
Yeah, something like that, something like that. So yeah, there's still plenty to go at. I've made my list. Whether I'll get through it all, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway,
you already can't play Detroit.
Yes, I already can't play. I'm not waiting an hour and a half to play Detroit, no thanks. Anyway, see you later.
Bye. Where's the camera?
Well, it's over. EGX is done for the year. So, that's not even Monster Hunter World. It's Monster Hunter 3.
It's the closest Spotify had. Sue me.
So it's all done. We've had another good day. A little bit more relaxing. It's a bit shorter the Sunday anyway. So
by an hour.
Yes. But you know, it was pretty good. Pretty good. You have a good time?
Yeah, it was good.
Enjoyed the year. Enjoyed the 10th year anniversary.
It was bloody marvellous, it was. We're not sponsored by Scan, but, you know, Scan, if you're watching, you know, call me. Let's make it happen.
Right.
Well, and then
Get rid of
Adam's
the healing.
vocal
Get rid of
cords
the
were
healing.
destroyed forever.
Yeah.
So, first up, I had a go at Ni no Kuni 2, not having completed Ni no Kuni 1 yet, because I'm slow.
Even remotely.
Not even remotely.
Nope.
But I had fun. There are sort of 4 different types of mission to try. One was a sort of weird RTS kind of
Think
approach.
Brutal Legend.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And then the second one was a bit more of a traditional overworld plus battle kind of approach. You're fighting some big ugly wyvern guy, but yeah, it was all pretty good. Quite different though. It felt to the first one. I know I haven't finished it, but I got a good feel for it. Didn't have the little sort of Pokemon guys anymore.
Or the Welsh Lantern do.
Or the
Ollie boy.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, quite different. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. I mean, I'm still going to get it because it's coming out on PC this time.
Yes. Yay. Good choice.
Yes.
You did the thing.
You did it, guys. Obviously Adam was playing Monster Hunter World because he's obsessed while I was doing that.
Well, I finished the expert mission.
Yes, you did. Well done.
I smashed their demo to pieces. Threw it to the ground.
Oh dear. After that we had a go at an indie game called Shift Quantum, or Quantum Shift. I'm not quite sure which one of the two.
Oh, you played as Topsy-Turvy Invert Neo, didn't you?
Yeah, basically. So it was... how do we describe this?
Puzzle platformer.
Basically...
So there's... When you start the game off, you're in a world, everything, all the stuff you can stand on is black, and then there's obviously negative space around that. If you press the shift button, everything flips and everything you can stand on is white. That was the negative space, and now the negative space is everything before that you could stand on that was black.
Yeah.
And so you have to basically get to the exit in each level and not get impaled by spikes, and you also have to, in some levels, there's buttons, for lack of a better term, that you have to jump into and rotate everything around.
Yeah, so gravity flipping as well as all the other stuff, but yeah, it was pretty good fun. Good game.
It was MC Escher-tastic.
Yes, something along those lines anyway. Then we shifted right slightly.
Is that shift?
And played Guns, Gore and Cannoli 2. I'm waiting for you to do some sort of terrible Italian accent.
Forget about it!
There we go.
Is that what you were after?
That was what I was after, yeah. Not played the first one. It had sort of almost Broforce-y kind of side-on, or Metal Slug maybe.
Well, I'd say your classic sort of move left, aim with right stick.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very good, very good.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Graphically, reminded me a bit of something like Shank. If you played that
Shank
from.
or Mark of the Ninja, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Very pretty, a lot of fun.
Lead character seemed to be sort of Italian gangster Steven Seagal, had a sort of goatee and was closing his eyes most of the time.
Yeah. Then we went and played with some dogs, because you've got to occasionally. Haven't we?
Doggos!
No, there's a game called Phogs, Phogs, and where you're a double-ended dog.
So if you've ever seen Cat Dog, imagine that, but the other end is a cat and they don't have any arms or legs.
No, the other end's a dog. That's the point. Both ends are dogs.
Both ends are dogs, not
there
cats.
there was a bark
So you're
button,
basically a double-ended dog sausage with different coloured collars on each end.
So you can stretch the dog sausage, and you can grab onto
That
things.
sounds wrong. You just need a clip of you going, stretch the dog sausage.
And yeah, but basically puzzle game. Almost reminded me a bit of Snake Pass in a way.
Almost. There wasn't that verticality really.
No, but
there was stuff like at the end of each sort of level there was basically Jormungand the World Eater worm, which you have to feed an acorn and then it would take you to the next part.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good. It was
a good game.
But we didn't mention the most important part about that. It was played on one controller, but it's co-op.
Oh yeah, so it was like.
So player one takes one half of the controller, so the shoulder, the trigger, and the stick, and then player two takes the other half, shoulder, trigger, stick.
Good job I recorded that then.
Yes. Good. Shame you didn't bloody remember.
Yes, it's good fun. We also played Age of Empires HD.
It's Age of Empires HD.
Age of Empires HD.
What do you want?
Yeah, it was a fairly short demo. They kind of compressed it down to sort of just throw a load of troops out and attack things. So it wasn't quite the Age of Empires you would
Yeah, we
think
were
of,
situated next to the PlayerUnknown's Xbox One demo. By this I mean they were running it on PC just with Xbox prompts.
Yes, true enough.
Oh dear. And obviously the poor console scrubs were getting murdered by PC people since they were just dropping them straight into solo games.
A bit cruel and unusual, isn't it, really?
So, it was just like, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys, and they're just slaughtering them.
I wish I'd been at home now. I could have been getting 3 kills.
Hey, Cletus, we done got us another one of those Xbox boys over here. I done told them not to come round these parts.
But yes,
etc., etc.
Age of Empires HD was great. It looked very pretty, and it used some of the new aspects that you'd expect from a modern RTS
and
as well.
It's 4K?
Yeah, 4K, which is nice. Not that I have a 4K monitor, but still.
You know, the option is there.
After that, we had a go at a game called Yucatan, or I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Yucatan Peninsula, is it? It's an actual place.
Yeah.
No idea. Go Google it.
Yeah, so it was.
It was a very, very stylistic
neon,
racing game.
Neon racer.
It was more sort of checkpoint racing.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit style over substance until it started saying, right, now you need to do a barrel roll. It's like,
so when so you could drift with, if you held down X, you could drift and stuff with the stick, but in the air, if you held down X, you could spin the car. And so at certain points, you'd go off a jump, and then there's a road above me, so you'd have to turn the car around, land on the road, and keep going around.
So it was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it had a sort of a Ramones-esque sort of soundtrack, that kind of.
Yeah, there was one whole soundtrack with a lot of words that I can't repeat in a family setting.
No, that was just that Blizzard store selling the Overwatch merchandise to small children.
True. So that was good fun. Then we wandered off and had a go at a game we talked about yesterday, which was No Truce with the Furies.
Where you basically play as 60s Disco Lemmy.
Yes, a very weird game, but
point and click essentially.
So he was trying. The dev was talking to us, and he was trying to bring back the old sort of classic sort of CRPG feel, but without all the fantasy or the sci-fi stuff. Because RPG doesn't, as we can see from the tabletop RPGs, doesn't have to be in those settings. It can be anywhere. This was kind of like ex-Soviet bloc.
No, but it wasn't that though. Because as he said, it wasn't even like this Earth or reality. It was just something completely new.
Yeah. So
different countries, this, that, and the other. So it was a seaside town, but he said they'd use sort of brutalist Soviet sort of massive concrete buildings there. Yeah. So it was all really weird. Everything looked kind of post-apocalyptic almost. Kind of. Just run down. Everything was. Yeah,
I think that's the ex-Soviet.
Shitey, I think is the scientific term.
But
there was lots of sort of everything really or a few things, was just dice rolls based on your stats. So at one point, I was asked by a cafeteria manager to pay my bill for my hotel room, and there was an option of slink away unnoticed. I failed this, and instead backflipped, well, not backflipped, but jumped away from him and slow-mo in the air did this. And as I'm going through the air, my sort of parts of my consciousness are going, why the hell are you doing this? I don't even know. Why are we doing this? And hang on, there's a woman in a wheelchair behind me, isn't there? Then bang.
You had literal conversations with parts of your consciousness and Ty. I don't know whether you got that bit in your game, but my Ty was talking to me, which was a bit odd.
See, I had the skill to just take it straight off the fan without messing around.
I managed to do that as well, but just occasionally it would just butt into conversation.
Oh, right, you must have picked a different option.
Yep.
At one point I did try and punch a child in the face.
You were playing the logician
Yes.
Archetype, and I was playing the sensitive archetype just because I wanted to see what was different between our two things. But we can have a chat about that later, I guess.
Not too sensitive. No, at one point I did go to try and punch a child in the face, being a police officer. He was annoying in my defence, but sadly I slipped and missed.
Well, that's okay then.
But no, very good, and it has a sort of... so the dev described it as a Russian oil painting style to the whole thing. Everything is that, and it looks really, really good.
Yeah. Unique, certainly. And he did say he was trying to push the boundaries of acceptability in some cases. I did walk up to one guy and it just listed him as a racist magazine seller. It's like, oh.
But then there's options of you can get involved with him, you can sort of go, no, you're a dick, or you can just go, nah, I'm leaving this.
Which is what I did.
So yeah, that's what I did.
Nah.
But yeah, there seems to be sort of, it is deep.
Yeah.
There is lots of sort of trees of conversation and all that sort of stuff.
Which is always good.
It seems to be when it comes out a multi-playthrough thing if you want to see everything.
Yes.
But he said, was it sometime next year?
Yes, I think so. Yes, I think I got the impression there's still a lot to do. So
yeah.
But that kind of game is going to have reams of code in it anyway.
And there's a lot of voice acting in it as well.
Yep.
I did like the lizard part of your brain was a cockney.
Yes, that was interesting. So after that, we were some spies, which was interesting, wasn't it?
Honeypot espionage.
Yeah.
VR spy them up. So obviously you can't
spy them up.
Yeah, well, not in this case.
Well, no, we were playing
because of EGX.
but
the shtick with Honeypot espionage is you can teleport around. So obviously, because you're in a 15x15 square, or in this case it was more like 5x5, wasn't it? It wasn't very big.
Yeah, there was another VR game next to us, which was Irate Pirates. So the poor dev was being sort of shot at by two different people playing different games.
But so you had a teleport gun to move yourself around, and you also have the ability to, if you don't move, you go invisible. Any movement slowly makes you so. If you move really quickly, your whole arm's going to be visible. But if you move really slow, you're practically invisible, and then when you're invisible, everything about you is wireframe, so you look down. Yeah. But when you teleport, you leave a sort of trail. But to counter that, your teleport gun has a decoy teleport mode, so you can trick the bots to go and investigate things. Very good, very good fun.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was almost like a cross between Unreal Tournament with the translocator gun, sort of spooling yourself across two worlds.
Shooting a plate of ham and then a rolling tin.
Yeah, and almost like a sort of TF2 kind of thing with the spy elements of that.
Yeah, almost.
Because I definitely had a really badass feeling moment where I shot one guy, heard another guy behind me, spun around and shot him over my shoulder like some sort of bloody action movie. It was brilliant. I did want to play that, but I wasn't expecting it to be as fun as it actually was. So,
yeah, it was very good.
It was pretty good.
And then the last thing we played was another VR game, this time on the Samsung Gear VR, which is phone strapped to face with headset or tape.
Well, was yours Gear VR as well? Because I thought yours was Oculus.
No.
Oh, okay.
They're both Gear VR.
Fair enough.
I think it is available on Oculus, judging by the banner of the thing. But it's basically VR XCOM controlled with one button and you looking at things. Works really, really well.
Yeah, it's like you're watching this little sort of diorama of the thing.
It's almost like a virtual tabletop. In some ways, it's very, very good.
Like all these little people wandering around in front of you and a little train going past. Because I went to a subway at one point and I didn't realise I was getting onto a train. But
6-inch of foot number.
I got onto the train, and then you sort of go like that. It's like, ooh. It was yeah, it was very cool. It was sort of one part XCOM, sort of turn-based combat kind of element, and one part sort of almost point-and-click adventure, sort of moving your character around, chatting with people. But it also had sections where you were actually within the 3D world as well, so it was. I think the idea was the bits where you're wandering around were kind of within an interface on the table in your office or something like that.
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah, it was
because you did sort of play as the brains of the operation.
Yeah, so it was quite clever actually, but it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind playing that again some point.
Very good.
So, but yeah, and that was it. And then the event ended, and we were forced to leave. Strong armed out the door.
Ejected.
EGX did. So, favourite games of the show?
I guess favourite AAA. No, that's theft. Stop that. Monster Hunter World, obviously, very good. That's all you could really want from a new Monster Hunter on home console / PC.
Cool.
Very good. Best sort of indie that took me by surprise, Raiders of the Lost Planet, I think.
Yeah,
Lost Planet, Broken Planet.
I could tell you were really into Raiders of the Lost Planet.
But no, it's. I think it'd be good. I think the proof of the pudding with that will be the co-op. How that plays out. But no, it's very, very good. I enjoyed that.
I'm trying to remember.
It sort of cocks a snook, if you like, sort of characters from Overwatch who are all really pretty and nice looking. Where one of the characters in this is a lovely lady who looks like she's been on the heroin. She has a slit throat, a shaved head, all this sort of stuff. And there's another guy who has no arms. He's filed his teeth into points. He just looks like a walking corpse. And there's one guy who's been, I don't think he's been shot in the head because he's just got a glowing hole right into the back of his skull. So yeah, that'll be one to look at.
I'm trying to remember what I've played now, to be honest. I really enjoyed what was it called?
Pokemon Gold.
That pinball one.
Oh, Yuka's Island Express.
Island Express. Just because I really like a good computer pinball game, and combining that with platform element really sort of spoke to me. So that's already on my wish list. I've already pre-ordered Phoenix Point, so that's kind of your double A kind of product, I guess.
I'm pretty sure if Julian Gollop put up a Kickstarter for some of his hair, you'd pre-order that. Let's be honest.
And wouldn't everyone?
Yeah, but not everyone would make a pentagram on the floor and try and summon him with that. Do you have like burning copies of XCOM in the corners of the pentagram?
That's true. But
Gollop for Targan.
I'm trying to remember if there was anything else that really stood out to me that we played over the weekend.
Until Dawn?
The Impatient was quite interesting.
It's good.
That. It's been overall a pretty good weekend. I actually enjoyed. When I looked at the list of things that were going to be available, I was a little disappointed, to be honest. But actually, I've, as always, found a load of interesting things to have a go at. Now I just need to get VR so I can run around shooting spies in my privacy of my own home.
You've got spare organs. I'm sure you can shift on the black market.
Yes. Well, most of the spare stuff I've got is just fat, though, to be honest.
Same.
Not sure people buy that.
Just sell it as like an Asda liver or lung or whatever.
But yes, anyway, so there you go. That's EGX. If you missed any of the other videos, feel free to look through the playlist, and you can see what we've been playing for the rest of the 4 days.
Yep.
Otherwise, that's it. So see you for the next video, whatever that happens to be. And thanks for joining us. Leave us some comments if you've got anything to say. Goodbye.